Alright, welcome back. Just another short video. I thought this time I'll show you some of the trees in the front yard before going back to the backyard again. And first up is my little dwarf Erwin mango. So these guys are meant to only get to 2 meters, 3 meters, something like that, and the mangoes themselves are actually purple in colour, so on the skin. So mixed reviews around taste though, so I'm not sure what they'll taste like, but this is a nice little tree. It's only been in ground for about a year, and how crazy is this? It's outside, you know, winter, and it's trying to flower. So very sort of odd behaviour here, but and we'll see how it goes. And you can see there's a bit of an issue here, some black spots, which yeah, I'll need to apply some Munkazeb to help clear that up. That can be, I think they call it anthracnose, and I had it on the old mango at the old place, and that can really destroy the fruit and affect the tree. So I need to get onto that pretty early. I'll go around here, and you know, we've got the traditional roses still, a bit boring, but here I've got my pomegranate. This is the wonderful variety, and it seems to produce just a couple of fruit each year. It's only been in ground 2 seasons, but the fruit that it does produce, you know, each fruit's about 500 grams, so it's seriously big fruit, really sweet, you know, quite delicious. It does seem to produce a lot more male flowers than it does the female flowers. So now this little guy down here, if you can see him, is a Pitangui. So he's a rare sort of Brazilian kind of, I think it's a Eugenia Saloi, I think. But some of you guys might correct me. It did lose a lot of its leaves when I put it in the ground, and I had to adjust the soil to make it a bit more acidic, and you might be able to see some coffee grounds in there as well that I've been adding. I'm hoping he recovers some of his leaves as we head into spring. And here's my dwarf mulberry, the red Chatut variety. You know, not much fruit on this guy yet. I've had a couple of them that were quite sweet when ripe. Hasn't lost his leaves yet either, so a first year in the ground for him. So nice little tree, and they don't get too big either, so which is good. I like the trees generally to be a bit smaller. A couple of tiny fruits still there. This one is a Midian Berry, I think they call it. It's an Australian native, and it produces these little kind of egg-coloured, almost duck egg-coloured little small fruits. They have a kind of a spicy taste, I guess you would say. I've only had a couple. It really hasn't fruited much for me just yet. Again, 1 year in the ground for this guy, but hoping to get a few more little berries to taste this spring. All right, and this is my Navalina Orange. So I had him in a pot for a number of years, probably 2 years, and then I put him in the ground here. He didn't like that, and lost a lot of the leaves, and we only got 2 oranges this year. One's still on the tree there, but they're very sweet oranges, the Navalina variety, so hoping to get a few more again this year. This guy's looking a bit sad, but that's just how he is at this time of year. He's a two-way cherry tree. I think it's the Royal Lee and the Mini Royal variety, so it's a low chill cherry tree. No cherries just yet, and I'm still deciding where I'm going to plant him. He doesn't like being in the pot here. He's very constrained and dries out easily, so I may just plant him here, but I'll see how I go. I do have a rule in this place that I do want the trees to look good. I'm probably more in the formal style of gardening, and you know, they need to complement the house and actually you know, I think look good in the landscape, rather than too messy. And that's just my personal preference. Everyone has their own preference though. So there's a grapevine down here. It's the red flame variety, losing its leaves. Idea is that probably will be trained up a trellis, and I'll put something over the window there, so eventually that might be just some, a grapevine that'll hang over the window. And we got the pomegranate here. That guy's dead now, but not dead, but lost his leaves. I'll go around the back again and just cover some of those trees for you as well. So a few of my potted apples here, dwarf varieties. And again, my tropical sort of seedling area over here. I've gone through some of these before, so I won't take you through some of these, but I'll just go down here because I've got a couple of new additions to show you. The first, and they're actually all here. So the first is the Cape Gooseberry. So never had these before. I really don't know what they're like, but listen, I've heard about them, and it was probably a bit of an impulse buy because it was available on dailies, if I'm honest. So we'll just see how that guy goes. This one's an interesting one, the Kwai Muk, or Kwai Muck. So it apparently produces these small fruit that are, as it says here, subacid and excellent flavour. We'll see eventually. It's part of the, I think it's the Artocarpus family, so the same as jackfruits, but apparently a bit more cold tolerant than jackfruit. And I've had him just sitting out here for a week. We've had some cold mornings, and so far, it really hasn't bothered this guy very much at all. So nice looking leaves, bit of growth over here. Again, quite nice looking new growth, a bit reddy in texture. And I've got myself another blueberry here as well, the blueberry burst. So these are one of the varieties from dailies that apparently produce, rather large blueberries. They look about twice the size of a normal blueberry. So looking forward to that one producing some fruit as well. So these are some of my other trees that are just sort of in this area. A lot of these ones are all awaiting their final planting position somewhere in the garden, which I need to work out. And in some ways, I just want to see how they fare outside this winter. Bit of a survival of the fittest, see who doesn't mind the Sydney winter compared to others. So, and it's interesting, you get some variety even between the different trees of the same type. Like if you look at the Rollinia down here and this one up here, and then compare it to this guy who's just not coping very well at all. So there is certainly some variety, I find, even amongst the same kind of variety or species of trees. So, but what have I got up here? I do have a lot of Rollinia seedlings. You get one Rollinia fruit and you get quite a number of seeds in that. So they will come along reasonably well. There's a Sapodea here, or a Chiku seedling. Seems to be doing okay out in the winter. Got some black sapote seedlings here as well. This one's even shooting off a bit of new growth, which is good. Got a finger lime here, which is flowering at the moment. So you can sort of see down there, it's flowering. He's had this one tiny fruit over here as well. I'll just try and find it for you. There we go. Tiny fruit. I don't know if that's going to hang on. It tends to flower and then, not really hold on to the fruit. Again, I've only had it about a year. It's the Rick's Red finger lime variety. A lot of Jaboticaba seedlings, again, just planted from seeds from some fruit that I ate. I think they're Sabara or Grimmel, I'm not quite sure. And then I have a Another one here which, listen, it didn't do well initially. It lost a lot of leaves when I first got it, but now it's coming back, and that's the Phytranthera costata, I believe, variety. I'm pretty sure. No, sorry, the Escarlet variety. So again, it's supposed to be a smaller one that'll grow in pots. So we'll see how that guy goes. And over here we've got a little lemon myrtle. These have just a delicious, really nice scent when you crush up the leaves. So I was thinking I might plant that next to the stairs on the way into the house. So if you walk in, you brush against that as you walk by it, and you get that sort of burst of that lemony scent. So they only seem to grow to a reasonably small sort of tree size, so might be suitable for the front yard eventually. What else can I show you? I'll show you my apple trees actually. So these have all been espaliered along the fence here. I'm going for the candelabra design. They were all planted in 2017. Well, sorry, the two of them, the two larger ones, these two were planted in 2017. Where the last one was a year later, I think 2018 or early 2019. But what I've done is actually grafted on a lot of different varieties, and apples in Sydney is a bit like growing tropical fruit in Melbourne. It is pushing the climate a little bit. The apple trees normally like a cold winter, but there's been a few few guys online that have done some experiments and proven over time that many of the apple varieties are actually adaptable to warmer climates. Some have even come from places like potentially Bermuda, I think. I know the Dorset Golden variety has come from one of those tropical soil places, Bermuda, Barbados, something like that. So, but each limb you can sort of see the tags there. I've grafted on another variety. So, it looks like I've got 3 trees, but really, potentially I think I haven't counted the varieties, but 15, 20 probably different varieties at the moment on these trees. So they've all finished fruiting except for this crazy guy up here on the winter banana variety of apple graft. Actually did flower again not long ago and has 2 little fruit there. So I don't know what's going to happen with that. We'll have to see if they actually get to a bigger size. This was the first year I got fruit on these trees. Down here I've got a Lady Williams. This is the last apple that's left on the tree, and you'll notice in a bag, Sydney, New South Wales, we got fruit fly. You got to battle that up here, so everything has to be bagged or else you're eating worms, right? Otherwise, even though this year I did bag them, I also had the trouble of mice biting through the bags and eating the apples. So, we had a few battles this year, but we got there in the end. I had a nice couple of harvests, which were better. But you'll notice, if you're from Melbourne, you've got apple trees or deciduous trees. They've all lost their leaves by now. Well, not in Sydney. In prior years, I've actually stripped the trees myself, taken the leaves off, and forced it into dormancy. But I've been talking to some other local kind of growers up here, and many people don't even do that now. They just let them carry their leaves through the winter, and apparently they still fruit okay, no trouble. So it's only this guy here that's starting to lose some. The Pinkabell over here is not really doing. It's got no. It's not really wanting to lose its leaves at the moment, so we'll see what happens. But a lot of different varieties here. I won't go through them all. I'm looking forward to tasting pit-nested pineapple. Apparently this is an apple that tastes similar to a pineapple, so we'll look forward to that. We've got Jonah Gold up here, Sundowner, which is lady. You know, this was a bit of a funny one. I brought this scion for this one. It was supposed to be Anna apple, right? But and Anna apple is meant to pollinate the guy over here, which is where's the tag? The Dorset Golden. The Dorset Golden flowers much earlier than any other variety, and so it needs a pollinating partner at the same time. And the first year the Anna flowered last year, it was way after the Dorset Golden. So, and then the apples formed, and it was actually more of a russeted apple. So clearly it's been mixed up. It's not Anna, it's some form of russet apple, but it was delicious anyway. However, I now got the problem I have to find some scion material for the Anna apple, the real Anna apple, to pollinate the Dorset Golden graft over there. So what else we got? We got Gala. You know, this is a Fuji tree mainly. Granny Smith, Winter Banana, Spartan. Not all the varieties do well. Yeah, Spartan, I think, really does need that colder climate. It barely grew at all, this graft. Whereas, you know, Winter Banana took off. Fuji seems to do really great, and it's a delicious apple, I think. The Sundowner does really well here. The Pitmaston Pineapple shot off. That was only grafted last year, that Pitmaston Pineapple, and that was from here all the way up to here it grew. Just incredible. So yeah, I don't mind the apples. They're an interesting sort of, it's a different way of collecting fruit and different varieties just by grafting them onto your trees. So I'll keep going through the rest of the garden. I've got a pineapple in here and just some veg. Pineapple has never given me any pineapples. You know, hopefully that'll flower one day or produce a fruit one day. Here's my in-ground Valinia that's been really probably the hardest hit with the cold weather. And I've noticed with Valinias, when a part of the limb dies, it starts to travel down the limb, and often the whole limb will die back. So you can see it here, right? It's gone dieback's all the way gone back to here, but it just started right up here with a little bit of darkness where it had blackened. It was just like that, and the rest was good. But it travelled right all the way down. So, but listen, I think it'll be okay. It'll probably, you know, suffer a bit this winter, and then come good in the spring. Apparently, the Sydney Botanic Gardens actually has a mature Valinia tree that's sitting there, which was one of the reasons that gave me hope that we could grow one up here. And it's outdoors apparently, and you know, I've heard that they actually sell fruit from the tree in their shop each year. So I need to actually track that down sometime and confirm that. But we'll see how we go with that. Anyway, the Suriname cherries there. Got the Panama berries. Panama berries looking a little sad, but doing all right. I sprayed all these trees with that Envy frost treatment, which is supposed to give them an extra 4 degrees of sort of tolerance. You know, you can see that it sort of puts a plasticky layer over and gives the leaves a bit of a sheen, as you can see here on the jackfruit. And since I've done that, I think it has made a difference, to be honest, because we had some really cold nights, and you can see on this jackfruit, since I've done it, like these leaves haven't really got any worse. So the other potted Valinia, Black Sapote. Black Sapote's got a few fruit on it. I think I've shown some of these before. They're kind of not really getting any bigger now during winter, so I don't know if they'll continue growing once we hit spring and summer, or if that's sort of just the size they are now, or even when you harvest them. So this is my first fruiting with this particular Black Sapote tree. The Uchacha here, try and get a better angle without the sun in my face. Yeah, the cha-cha's going alright. It still has a little teeny bit of dieback up here and up here. It got a lot of dieback when I transplanted this last year from the pot into the ground, so it was probably another 1 to 2 feet taller than this, but then it stabilised during summer and actually shot out a lot of new growth from the bottom of the tree outwards, so I think it's all right now, but it's another one to watch. Yeah, and just these other guys, I think I've been through them before. Oh, I did get one more coffee tree actually, which I'll have to show you. So I had a coffee seedling already, which I don't know what variety it is, but this one I got was a Blue Mountain Kenya. Again, like I think I'll suck it in by Daly's description of the highest rated coffee variety. You know, my defences are weak when it comes to these things, so it was available. I put it in the order and it arrived, and again it's got a little bit of new growth and seems to be doing okay. So yeah, the rest of these ones I won't go through. They're all doing all right as well, but just thought I would give you a quick garden tour again. And it's what are we, yeah, mid-June at the moment. I think we're 17 June. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and please subscribe if you haven't already. I'll endeavour to do a few more videos when time permits. Thank you.